FX Nation, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the setups during London, and I believe we had a couple during US session. But anyways, let's just go ahead and jump right into it, and we're going to go ahead and start off with pound JPY. Now, very interesting with pound JPY. As you can see here, this is our Asian range. And if I just remove this here, because I want you guys to look at what I'm looking at, what I was looking at the time. So we have our Asian range here. Price pulled back up, and a couple things that I noticed here. So one is that we're in the middle of the Asian range, right? So it'd be essentially a type 3 setup. Two, we are pinning to water, right? So we have a pins to the water situation. And three, we ended up getting a nice star formation, right? So it worked out like entry was here, stop loss was here, and then the target, since we didn't have Mayo to go to, essentially was 30 pips. And we ended up getting, if you kept it to the max, about 45 pips. Personally, I got just 30 pips, got out. Another interesting fact that happened right after that trade is that if you just stand back and look, or what do we have as far as developing here, right? Is that so? We took a sell first, and then we ended up getting railroad tracks right here, right next after we got out of the trade. So guess what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna buy it because it's on railroad tracks. We can buy it literally right after that candle. And guess where we're gonna go? We're gonna go to water first. That's 30 pips, and then eventually went to Mayo, which is 50 pips, 53 pips. Okay, so two trades on the same pair, but you can see how one thing was very clear at the beginning, and then after you got out of the trade, you're looking and you see another thing developing. And so you can take advantage of this a lot of times with different pairs. Now, keep in mind that this is not something that normally happens a lot, but it does happen. The important thing is that before you can get to, to viewing this, these type of patterns like this, is you have to get consistent at the normal patterns to begin with, and this is when I keep telling you guys about doing back testing on TradingView. By the way, if you still haven't gotten a TradingView account, get a TradingView account so you can do back testing on this. It's going to make the biggest difference in your trading. I can guarantee you that. I'll leave a link in the description for TradingView. But yeah, so once you start, trading this and trading the patterns, and you understand what's going on, you'll start to see, and you won't have a directional bias just in one direction fully. You'll understand that because price is controlled by a higher power, being banks, that they can take the prices wherever they want to. So you just have to be open-minded to receive the information of them wanting to move the price down first and then up. So either way, the important thing is getting your 30 to 50 pips, or going to Mayo and calling it a day, and you're done. Okay, but that was pound JPY. Next one is pound CAD. And pound CAD here, we had a very nice tight Asian range, and of course we saw the movement here, and as you can see, a very nice clear W formation here. This is late London, or second half of London session, but of course, you get in, you see the W formation here, you get in and you take it to water first, and then Mayo. So water would have been 30 pips, Mayo would have been around 50 pips. So again, Another clear setup, and that's all that we look for is clear setups. Pound NZD. Pound NZD was very interesting. So essentially, here's pound NZD here, and if you just do your, your Asian range, right? Here's your Asian range, right? You don't really have a setup here, right? But if you zoom out, okay, a couple things that you'll notice, right, is that you have a perfect W formation forming essentially, right? You look at the low here, they hit it once, came back, hit it again, didn't pass it or anything, moved away, right? So I was thinking, right, we're gonna get a nice W, okay, all the way up, right? So on this one here, because it is a W formation, we got in here, stop loss is here, and then you take, of course, first to water. That was about 20 pips or so, and then the ultimate goal really was at least a Mayo. But one of the rules that we have, and we'll get to the rules in a video that I have upcoming, probably for later, for next week, is that if you're in a trade and you're not in substantial profit within 90 minutes of taking that trade, there's something going on and you should get out of the trade. Okay, so in this case here, we took it to water, and then we actually got kicked out of the trade because we moved our stop losses up to water, and we ended up getting kicked out. But if you would have held on to the trade to get to Mayo, after 90 minutes, you would have been out of this trade because it wasn't in substantial profit for you. So, and I'm going to show you some more examples of this on some of the other pairs, but that's another thing is like when you see something like this that's very clear, right? And man, everything just lines up, everything's good. You get into the trade, and if you're not in substantial profit within 90 minutes, something's going on, and you just need to cut your losses. Okay, so that's definitely one thing to be aware of. And I'm going to go over this again. There's a video that I have coming up that'll go over all that for you. But it's just one of the rules that I wanted to share, and an experience here that I wanted to share here with you. So at the end of the day, this trade, came out to be about 25 pips or so, because we moved our stop loss to protect our entry, so it was a risk-free trade. Next one was pound Swiss. And pound Swiss here, we have our Asian session here, and then we ended up getting a very nice W type 2 formation here. And so entry was here, and stop loss is there. And so that particular trade was about 80 to 85 pips or so. And then we move on to the CAD Jappy. CAD Jappy had a very nice W formation here, type 2 setup, where it didn't pass the low of Asia. And you can see we traded this one out of the edge and took it straight to Mayo. So entry would have been here, stop loss here, and then figured 30 pips out. This up to Mayo here was about 23 pips. So that's perfectly fine. So again, clear setup, that's the most important thing. I can't stress that enough. The setup is clear. It's a clear W, right? So you're taking that trade. The next one was USD Jappy. Now here is a trade that basically was triggered. Let me get over here real quick. This was triggered off of railroad tracks, off of trading the edge again. And that was basically right here. Okay. Now we got a second chance. If you missed it, we got a second set of railroad tracks here. Okay. So depending on if you got in it here and your stop loss there, or here and your stop loss still there, you're taking it essentially to Mayo as the goal. Water first and then Mayo. So if you got it out here, you're looking at 14 pips to water, and then to Mayo it's 40 pips. If you took it from the second entry, you would have gotten the Mayo in about 38 pips. So about a 2 pip difference between the two entries. But you can see that price just literally hung out here at the low of Asia and never breached it. And then we ended up getting the railroad tracks here right at literally 2 o'clock. So some of us got into it here, others got into it up here. But either way, nice trade setup on that one. So Euro JPY, and here is another good example on Euro JPY. So Euro JPY, the goal of it, we were trying to catch was a W, right? Now here is a couple of where the rules come in that would allow you to essentially stay out of the trade. Okay, because you can clearly see, there is a W here that could have formed, and this is what we were, expecting. But here's the caveat to it: is we didn't get railroad tracks, we didn't get any kind of star formations going up, and we certainly didn't get price to actually close above catch-up, right? So here's catch-up. And as you can see, the price never closed above it. It was close, but really we were looking at an entry here, if possible, right? And that would have taken it up. But we didn't get that. We didn't get the price to go above catch-up and close above catch-up, right? So because of that, we didn't take the trade. However, if you did take the trade, let's just say you did take it, right? Here's what I'm talking about. You see how price just moves sideways, 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 and it's just basically moving within a range, of about 20 pips. And it did that the entire session, the entire London session, the entire US session, as it's currently doing now, So this is what I'm talking about. So even if you got into the trade, let's say here, even if you got into the trade here because you were expecting the W and you had your stop loss here, number one, you would have been stopped out on this one, on this candle down here, right? Which is fine. So you would have, lost what, 5 pips? I mean, not a big deal, not the end of the day, right? But most importantly, if you had your stop loss for some reason lower than that, after 90 minutes, you see that you're not in substantial profit, you get out of the trade and you're done with that pair. Okay, so this is another example here where the rules can save you from getting into a trade, but if you do get into a trade and you still follow the rules, you still get out of the trade, and you know what? You leave the trade with no damage or minimal damage to your account if you follow the rules. And then the last couple here. So Euro USD. So if you're not part of the of our chat on Facebook Messenger. I'll leave a link in the description. Be part of that chat room. It's a free chat room. If you signed up for the free membership on our website, fxntrading.com, you would have gotten the link to that as well. But I'll leave in the description a link to the free membership and also to the Facebook chat. But I called this out on the Facebook chat. It was Euro USD, Euro CAD, and AUD USD, and we were calling this to basically go to Mayo. Now, as you can see, there is no real like setup as far as like patterns and stuff like that. At the end of the day, this is just me knowing what the market, what I'm expecting from the market to do, and I just called these trades to go out to Mayo, right? So it was 1:34 in the morning. So 1:34 in the morning, which was right around here. So 1:34 in the morning, Euro CAD and Euro USD. Can we please take a road trip to Mayo? And then after that, I said AUD USD can tag along for the ride as well. Okay, so this particular trade basically was 43 pips to Mayo. Okay, and so that was one trade that was in the chat that we took. Another one was AUD USD, and again, this was way early, right? And if you can imagine, if this is not here, okay, what are you seeing at this point trading off the edge? You're already at a high from yesterday, and you've been trailing up for how many days now? You know, since the big splash that happened last week. You know, but anyway, so on this one, we ended up getting like 5 pips before Mayo. Yeah, like 5 or 6 pips before getting to Mayo. So that was, you know, not this trade here. You would have been stopped out at because first of all, this took way too long to develop, as you can see, and this is another one where after 90 minutes, if you're not in substantial profit, you would have just exited the trade, you know, and you would have exited the trade actually in profit, which is like right here. But like the profit was just so minimal at that particular time, you would have been looking at like, you know, 5 pips or something like that. So it was a break-even trade on AUD USD. But on Euro CAD, this is again at like 1:30 in the morning. So here, this was your opportunity to get into the trade, which is right here, trading off the Asian edge here. And so this trade down to Mayo was about 46 pips. Okay, so that was another trade that we did in the chat room. And then I also mentioned Euro JPY in the chat room. If you follow the rules in the previous video that I talk about entry triggers and stuff like that, I'll link that video after this one, so you'll see it. So guys, there's a lot of trade opportunities that were available today, but I hope I showed you some different examples of different situations that, you know, may have looked perfect for a setup, but essentially were not perfect for a setup. And that's okay, because that's how you learn. And this, you know, if you follow the rules, which is one of the most important things, is just following the rules. You know, you have rules for a reason. If you follow them, they'll keep you out of bad trades. I promise. So guys, leave a comment below. Let me know if you took any of the trades here, if you were looking at different pairs yourself. Let me know. I want to know what you guys are looking at during London or even during US session. But other than that, guys, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Guys, one last thing. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate the fact that you take the time to watch my videos. I really hope that I've added value in each of the videos that I make for you guys, and I hope that you're learning something. As always, guys, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Please like and share the videos if you found value in them. And also, don't forget to visit our website at www.fxntradinggroup.com. Once again, guys, thank you so much. I'm truly blessed.